How long have I been a nurse? I've been a nurse a little over 20 years.
It's 5 years.
About 3 years now.
I've been a nurse for 34 years.
Almost 8 years.
I have been a nurse almost 19 years.
I have been a nurse for a year and a half.
3 years.
Almost 30 years.
I've been nursing for 4 years.
About 6 years now.
Been a nurse for 15 years.
What brought me into nursing was, I remember as a child, I was very caring and very fascinated by the human body.
Ever since I've been a kid, I've always wanted to be a nurse.
Being a nurse was something I wanted to do from my earliest stages of childhood.
As a little one, I can remember putting Band-Aids on everybody and checking their reflexes with a little hammer, so it's just something I've always wanted to do.
I chose nursing because I wanted to be part of something that was more than just a job to me, something that allowed me to take care of people and make them feel better.
I love to help people and make a difference in people's lives.
It's been a good career so far. It's really been interesting. Never a dull day.
I do it because that's what I love to do.
This is the best career that you could possibly choose, and I'm so glad that I did.
What makes me special? I think the longer I'm in nursing, I get I'm more caring, more compassionate.
I feel like the team that I work with is very special, and I'm just one person on that team.
My approachability, my friendliness.
And it's very important for you to be positive, and because we have to deal with so many different kind of things like every single day.
I think I'm able to connect with every patient, not just a patient, even with their family members.
I like to make my patients smile. I like to find the answers they're looking for.
I like learning new things every day. I like going to work, and it's always something new, and I care about my patients.
Those are all qualities that you have to have in order to be a good nurse.
I am very special because I think I have disadvantage compared to other nurses. I have polio, but I use my disadvantage to become my strength and to help our patients to overcome their disadvantage and their diseases.
Nursing is really a calling. It's an art and a science of caring for people. It's really a kind of a privilege.
It's more than a job or career. It really gives me meaning.
What makes me special is that I really have compassion for my patients.
I care about my patients. I give everything. I treat patients the way I would like my family to be treated.
It's not what makes me special, but it's just something that makes all nurses special is we love to care for people and make them feel better. We have a lot of compassion for our patients, and they're kind of the focus of everything that we do.
To do what nobody else will.
In a way that nobody else can.
In spite of all we go through.
That is what it means to be a nurse.
Nursing has taught me so much more about myself than anything else. It's taught me patience.
It's taught me to be patient. It's taught me to slow down at times when things aren't making sense.
I've become a stronger individual. I've learned to be more patient over time.
It's taught me a lot about patience and loving strangers, especially. You never know who you're going to get every day, and you just kind of treat them how you would want to be treated or how you'd want your family to be treated.
Nursing has taught me to be patient and also to be an active listener.
To listen, and listen without talking mostly.
To enjoy life, that life is short.
Time management, teamwork.
To be selfless, to give my patient as much as I can without any expectation.
I've learned a lot about myself, about being thankful and grateful.
How to be a better person, how to be a better version of myself, I'd say. Have so much compassion and kindness, and just listen. Be a better listener, a way better listener.
The most significant thing a nurse can do for their patients is just take out time. I know we get really busy with the tasks in our career, but just taking out time to listen to them, what their needs are, and just talking to them.
We tend to get very busy doing our jobs, and we forget to listen to the patients.
Listen. It's a lot of listening. Sometimes all a patient needs is a few minutes of your time spent with them, just listening to either what's going on with them, what's going on with their family. Just time, set them at ease, keep them comfortable.
You need to listen to patients not only with your ears, but also with your heart.
I'd say listen. No one ever taught me that in nursing school. It was more just, all the skills and all the things you have to know and memorize. But I think listening is one of the biggest things. Listen to your patient.
Listening, compassion, caring, and advocacy.
I think the most significant thing that a nurse can give to our patients is just to be a patient advocate. That is very important. When especially a patient, can't speak for themselves, you really have to advocate.
Sometimes, you just need to be there for them, and you don't need to even say anything, but just to be there for them, they know that you care, and they know that you want to help them and you want to make them better.
All nurses need to have empathy and really care, and that's not something you can teach in school. It's something that has to be within.
There are so many things I can give to the patients. But the only thing that is very important is my love and care. I care about every single patient I have at the cancer center.
I think treating your patients like it's a family member or like one of your best friends, and providing the same care that you would give, like I said, to your family member, providing that to everybody that you see. That's really the best thing you can do for them.
Something about nursing that most people don't know is that we very much enjoy what we do.
It's like the greatest career out there. We'll give you way more back than you give to it. It's just a very special job.
It's hard work, it's tough, it's grimy.
We are kind of like flight attendants going through our cabin, and if you don't see us freaking out, then it's probably gonna be okay.
People just need to realize that, mentally it is very challenging, and you really need to have good coping skills to be able to kind of deal with the everyday stresses that nurses go through.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot to be a nurse. It's just not a 9-to-5 kind of a job.
Nurses have to work from the heart to be a good nurse. Not only the experience, but also of what we can give, of what we can carry on, and of what we can share to other people.
It's a soul-searching profession, that it requires a lot from the inside of you. That's what makes a great nurse.
We think about our patients a lot more than anyone would imagine that we do.
We're not here for the paycheck, the glory. It is a very demanding, stressful job, but we do it because we love what we do. We like helping people.
Just to do little things, like if they need a cup of coffee or a warm blanket, just the little things like that. It really makes a big difference in a person.
It's very hard to be funny when you're nursing, but I like to make my patients laugh.
I try to make them laugh and joke with them, and I feel like laughter is one of the greatest medicines. So yeah, definitely bring that with me every day.
It's something you can't necessarily be taught in nursing school. They teach you by the books, but it's some qualities you just have to have as an individual, like just to be caring, compassionate.
Compassion, integrity, high work ethic, and of course being a team player.
You have to have compassion for people you care for, and you have to have the heart to go through what you do on a daily basis.
Let them know that someone's got their back, that we're in their court and we're there for them the whole time they're here, stuck in the hospital where they don't want to be, and that your nurse is there for you.
I think one of the biggest things is kindness. I think sometimes we get stressed out and overworked and feel overwhelmed, and we forget that that one thing that you say or do could make the biggest difference. So I think as a nurse, kindness is one of the biggest attributes you have to have.
You have to be caring and kind. You have to be open-minded and come every day with an open heart. It's not an easy job, but it's a rewarding job.
It's a calling, and just like I would define myself as a woman and a wife and a mother, I'm also a nurse.
So some advice that I would give to someone that is thinking of a career as a nurse would be first to, volunteer, get involved in your community, and, go out and see, what nurses do.
Get as much education as possible and make sure that you know that this is going to be your calling, it's going to be demanding.
I think you should do your research and make sure it's really something you want to do. Make sure you're dedicated to it because it takes a lot of work.
Be willing to learn, be open to new ideas, and every day is a new day. So you might have a tough day yesterday, but the next day could be a breeze.
Make sure you do it for the right reasons. Become a nurse because that's what you love, and because you want to make the world a better place.
You have to have the heart. You have to have the willingness, because the money is not what's going to drive you. If you're in it for the money, don't do it. Do it because you like to help others. Do it because you feel rewarded when you help others.
Work really hard, but make sure your heart's in it and that you really care about people. Because if you don't, then it's not the work for you.
Just be ready for the greatest ride of your life.
I would say do it, and just be ready and hang on and study and just be ready to be part of the best career ever.
Our job as nurses
is to cushion the sorrow
and celebrate the job
every day
while we are
just doing our jobs.
If I had it to do over again, I would absolutely choose nursing again.
No one day is the same. It's never a dull moment. You're always seeing something different. It's an amazing career, it really is.
Definitely. I think it's just in my blood. I enjoy what I do, and I can't see doing anything else other than nursing.
Yes, I would. It's, challenging, but it's very rewarding.
Absolutely, I would choose nursing. It's given me back way more than I've given to it.
I would absolutely choose nursing.
Every single day I would choose nursing. There's nothing else in the world I think I would rather do.
If I had to do it again, of course I would choose nursing. My husband always tell me, I never work one day in my life. Even though the day I go home, I just fall into the couch and cannot move. But he told me I never work one day in my life because I love my job so much.
Absolutely. My only regret is I didn't do it my first time around, going through college. So doing it with twins was a little more difficult, but absolutely.
Nursing is not just a job, it's kind of who I am, and I don't think I could be doing anything else.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
I am so glad that I became a nurse. There's so many directions to go with it, so much that I can do in this career, and every day feel rewarded. And if you don't like what you're doing, you can always change your path.
You're always learning something, so I definitely would choose it.
It reaches inside of you and touches that place that feeds your soul. It's a connectedness. And I would say I feel the same way as those people who feel that they couldn't possibly do anything else. If I wasn't able to do this work, I can't tell you what I would ever think about doing.
The patients inspire me to come to work every day so that I can take care of them, and if they're strong enough to show up, I'm strong enough to be there for them.
Everybody fights every day, no matter what. Either a healthy person or a sick person. It keeps me going just to see our patients fight for their life, fight for their future, and fight for their family.
That person lying in that bed, and what if that was me? And how would I want to be treated? And so it inspires me to be a better person toward that patient and to help them more.
That's what keeps me going, is knowing that there's somebody there that needs us.
I like helping people. I like to see a smile on their face. I like to know that I've helped them in some way.
Knowing at the end of the day that even if it was something small that I said or did, that could have changed their whole day or made them feel just a little bit better than they were before. It's kind of the determination that keeps me going.
What inspires me is that we learn something new every day. Not every day is the same. So one day you'll have an easy group, and then the next, it's a really difficult day or something you've never seen.
There's good days, there's bad days, but I think it's just because I do what I love to do. And that's kind of what makes me keep going back every day.
Seeing patients smile, seeing patients do better, or even just be happy because you made a joke or because you made them feel comfortable. It's very rewarding.
The hard days are hard and the easy days are easy, but I don't need anything to get me out of bed to come do this because this is what I was meant to do.
I'm thankful and grateful every day to get up and serve the staff here and provide quality care. I'm thankful to do that every day.
I think especially for where I work in the emergency department, it's all about the team. I am so hyper-focused on the team. Nobody can do this job alone, and it takes all of us. So being able to speak efficiently, effectively, and with respect to your teammates is huge. It also takes a great deal of tenacity and humility, and you just gotta work it, and you gotta know that you're going to work.
Spend a lot more time with our work families than we do with our real families sometimes.
Second family. They're my second family. When I'm not with my family, I'm with them. So they're like second family to me.
We have to work together as a family, as sister, brothers. We have to take care for each other, but most of all, we have to take care of ourselves first, and then work together with everybody to make the work come through, to give the best care to the patients.
People will forget what you said.
They will forget what you did.
But they will never forget how you made them feel.
If you speak to almost any nurse, you will find that they have those one or two moments that solidify for themselves why they became a nurse and why they continue to do what they do. It's not easy work most of the time, but it's rewarding work almost all the time.
Everyone has a specific job on a code. You got respiratory doing their breathing, and nursing's doing the pushing the meds, and doing the compressions, and it's just organized chaos. But everything's getting done in an organized way, and you save that person's life, and it makes you see how fragile and precious life really is.
Most would say it's when they saved lives. Mine was when I was not able to save a life. But when the family came up to me and told me I was like an angel to them at the end of their loved one's life, I would say that was defining for me. It made me feel like I did everything I could, and it made the family feel like we did everything that we could.
I still remember my first code. I have a patient pass away. It was when I was a new grad. Sorry. I had a hard time to go through that situation, but I was glad that I have a really good support team to help me, talk to me, guide through me. I was a little bit depressed at first at that time. It was really hard for me, but excuse me. But it was a really, really good learning experience. I learned that being a nurse, we can always help people. We can always try our best. Excuse me.
Helping a patient to the bathroom made them feel, human, made them feel good. It's just, and for you, it's just you take it for granted, but because you're able to do it.
We had a young gentleman in the hospital who was very ill, couldn't even raise his head, couldn't get himself up out of bed, just couldn't do anything. And the hospital had sent me to a pain conference the week before. And I called the doctor, got his medications changed to something new. When I came back to work the next day, the gentleman was up in a chair feeding himself. The family was all hugs, the patient was all hugs, and I just went home thinking, wow, that's a really great day today.
In my career, 45 in the moment, I get a lot. I get a lot from the people who work around me. I get a lot from my oncologists that I work with, and especially I get a lot of all of our patients.
I think being compassionate and empathetic is very important. Try to stand at the family member side to think, to see what they need, so we be there to support them.
It was a pretty bad trauma that this, poor innocent bystander was hit by a vehicle, and this patient came in and we all thought that this patient was gonna die. It didn't change how we treated this patient. Of course, we work as hard as we can on everybody who comes through the door. But this gentleman, or this patient in particular, I got to see him go from being intubated, and I really didn't think he was gonna make it, to I got to be there right when he was getting discharged. And it was amazing to give him a hug and his family a hug. That was incredible.